Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow the man. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. Let me go. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow the man. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow.
You can have a good morning to all. Good morning. Please share the live this morning as we about to engage in some discussions, as we about to talk about matters of importance to us. So share the live, share the live, share the live, share the live this morning. Call a friend, text a friend, tell them that, MP Bess is on this morning, and let them feel free to join the show as we deliberate on matters. A pleasant good morning to you. Share the live this morning. Share the live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Burl, nice to see you on this morning from New York. It's pleasant good morning to everyone who's overseas and so continue to support us and follow all the developments. Good morning to those who are here in Guyana as we continue to work with each other so that we can better what's happening. So share this morning, share the program, encourage someone to join so that we can talk. You can share your views in the comment section and let us engage each other on matters of great importance. So share the live this morning. I'm trying to do so too. So let's share the live. Share the live this morning. Good morning. Once again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it's truly a blessed day. We want to thank God for spared life and for keeping us to see this beautiful day. I know we're all busy preparing for the holidays, be it cleaning the house, changing the curtains, scrubbing, throwing out the garbage, the usual Christmas thing. Then you're hustling to go and get the pepper pot meat from tomorrow and start preparing the pepper pot, baking the cake. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Ms. Hanhofer. Nice to have you. And I know that we're all busy. We share the live. You can listen to the program as you move around, as we talk about matters that are really, really important. This morning, I want to share a thought with you. It says life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take away our breath. And so I want to encourage you to always think on the bright side, no matter what life brings to your day. You gain a treasure within your soul that no worry or hardship can ever take away. And so this is by Isaac Purcell. And I want to encourage you this morning to enjoy the moments in life. I know a lot is going on around us. Continue to share the life. A whole lot is happening. A whole lot is happening around us. And because of all the negative things that continues to happen around us, it can take away a lot of our joy. But we don't want that to happen this morning. Let us create moments that will take our breath away today. And so I want to leave this thought with you. Remember, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And so this morning, my breath was taken away when my colleague served me a lovely cup of coffee, and on the mug mark a sports junkie, and I was laughing because I know if my students see this, they would say, yes, Miss is definitely a sports junkie. So I'm happy to share with you this morning. It's just simple gestures that takes our breath away. Yes, Miss Anova, I know. We don't know how much more patience people have with all this bias, PC criminals, but believe me, all long rope has an end. All long rope has an end. You need money. Now look. Yes, I agree with you, Miss Hanover. So this morning, let me start by talking about some of the issues that continues to affect us. During this week, we witnessed the really disgraceful and unpleasant treatment of the Henry family as they are continuing to grieve. Look at what the police did to the family. And when I saw this incident, it really upset me. I couldn't sleep because a lot of things was going through my mind to think how unfair and how unjust it is for a family to be in grief, and a simple matter that could be dealt with had to be escalated to put the family under more emotional pressure, under more torment, under more distress. I worry for the mother and the father and the family members when they sit down and think about the death of the Henry boys and Harry Singh, and how the Henry family was treated the other night. And so when you sit and you think about it, imagine we were in a technological age. Yes, you don't have your physical license on you, but you have a copy of your license in your phone, and you can say to the officer, I don't have the physical license on me, but I have a copy of it. Here it is. I'm quite sure if we are really technologically advanced, you could have seen the license and get the relevant information or wait for it to come, the hard copy. But instead of that, the brutality, the unfairness that was done to that family. And I trust this morning that this entire matter is resolved and the family is much more comfortable. We know they will not be comfortable or rest until justice is served for the Henry boys and those young men that were brutally murdered. I know as a mother how difficult it is to see your children suffer. You can't do anything to help them. And it is very unfortunate to see how the family was treated. The family members were treated during the week by the police and all that came out. And the police was so bold enough to release a video. But the amazing thing about it is that you release a video, but you didn't release the entire story in the video. You just show part of the video. What happened before all that you were showing there? And so we really need to see our police officers get proper training in terms of dealing with people, the manner in which they speak to people, the manner in which they conduct their duties. They have to take that into consideration. I was listening to a program where someone was saying we're all people. And there's the YouTube video with the family sharing their experiences as they go through. And so we pray for justice and we continue to call for justice for those young men that were slain so brutally, because I know that the family will not rest comfortably until that is so. The nation shouldn't rest comfortably until that is so. This affects all of us. As a parents, I'm quite sure you wouldn't want to send out your young children on the street, your young men and women, anywhere, because you want to be very cautious. You want to know that they will return home safely. And so these are the things that continue to affect us. But we as a people need to persevere. We need to push. We need to keep making our voices heard. Somebody will listen. We were there at the court with those people they had sitting there how long at the Sparnham court. It's really annoying to see that a family has to go through all of this when that matter could have been solved so easily. But maybe they have their own intentions. They have their own intentions to frustrate and to drive fear in people. But we have learned from history when we learn to stand up for our rights. When we learn to stand up for our rights, things will happen. We can't back down. We must stand up. We must stand up and continue to call for justice for the Henry Boys and Harris Singh. We need those murders solved. We need to see something happen. Imagine you have international help here and nothing is not even well received. I saw an article last night. I was reading an article that says that the police will consider if they need international help. Well, I'm yet to think. I don't know what more they have to consider. If you're not getting the murder solved and you're not getting enough of whatever is needed to bring a resolution to the problem, then of course you need help. So this is a matter that continues to affect us, and let us continue to persevere. Let us continue to pray. Let us continue to seek and call for justice for the family this morning. Another issue on a positive note that this morning I must say that, as a young girl growing up in school and an adult, this book I always take a lot of pride in reading. Documents on the territorial integrity of Guyana, um, Guyana versus Venezuela. In this book, the older folks would know the book, the younger people may not. But in this book, it tells you and gives you all the little details about what happened when it came to Guyana's dispute with Venezuela over the land. And I'm happy that we see that the International Court has ruled that they have jurisdiction. So it means that this book now can be updated so you can have other information to show what happened in the period where the International Court has made that decision. And so as Guyanese, let us continue to persevere and encourage proper leadership so that this matter can be resolved. Good morning to all those who are online. Yes, please share the live. Denzel and Donette Boston. Yes, Ms. Rogers, nice to have you. Ms. Jones, nice to have you. Continue to share the live with others so that we can talk. My second issue today has to do with the COVID grant. I know I've posted a video that was shared by a young man on his experience that he was having with the persons coming to distribute the COVID grant in his area. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Share the information. You don't want to be talking and assuming, but when you have the evidence, it's something different. Good morning. Yes. The distribution of the COVID grant, according to the video that was circulated just about 2 days ago, the officer was explaining that on the radio, and I was surprised to hear that, on the radio, the criteria for distribution of the COVID grant was stated. And I am thinking, okay, I can't recall hearing that on the radio, and I normally listen to the radio. And one of the things he was saying is that the property owner or the primary owner of the property is the person who will receive this grant. And the others there, if you're renting or whatever, if there are more one family in the house, they're receiving a pink slip. Now, what a thing. I recall us being in Parliament passing and agreeing that the COVID grant will be for all Guyanese. I didn't recognize that this was the criteria that was set. So I was trying to read to see if I missed something. Maybe I missed something. And then you also hear the agent saying to the young man that there's a criteria, but she didn't state what's the criteria. Well, we know all sorts of things are floating around as to what is the criteria. But based on the reports I have received in my geographical area, which is the East Bank of Demerara, and my responsibility starts from Eccles to Bliss on the highway, I received calls from the highway yesterday, and based on what the residents were saying to me, is that it appears, MP, that the criteria being used to distribute the grant in these areas is based on race. And that is, if you are East Indian or Amerindian, you're likely to receive the 25,000. What a thing. What a thing. Imagine this $25,000. Again, I want to reinforce, we're talking about relief for families during a pandemic. We're talking about relief for families during a pandemic. We're not talking about throwing back and relaxing, and then if you get a little help, you get a little help. No, we're talking about a relief for the families. And as such, we expect every family, every family should benefit from the 25,000. And even though the current administration is using their own method to cause confusion and to cause people to be frustrated and have people asking a lot of questions, you're entitled to it. So we have to fight for it. We have to push for it. As such, the coalition has prepared a form, a Google document where you can go fill it up if you have not received the grant. It is accessible. I think it's in the link. It is easy and accessible. I can't answer that, Mr. Yes. And you can fill in your information on the Google form and we will take it from there. Because remember, we have to have our evidence when we're going to argue, when we're going to present whatever information is needed, that these are the number of persons who did not receive the COVID grant. I know in my village, someone is asking, when will MOCA get? Well, all the things you're hearing and all the things you're seeing happening around you, I can't answer any of the questions as to where, who will get, and when will they get. Buxton Friendship have not received, according to Miss Ford. Yes, and then they went to Sophia. I got a call, and you hear in Sophia, they're going to some of the houses in the different fields, and some they're just passing straight. So I don't know if these criteria that we heard about in the video really exist. But we have to continue to talk about it. We have to continue to let others know about what is happening in and around our country and how the widespread discrimination continues by the PPPC current fraudulent administration. We have to let others know. This does not speak well for building camaraderie between the people of Guyana. We're one people, one nation, one destiny. All of us are to benefit, regardless of the views that the current administration have. And so I will not be able to tell you when you will get the grant. So feel free. We have the form there. It's on my page. It's being shared in the link. You can click on it and fill it up. You can share it with your colleagues because I know that we have persons living in different places. Send it out to them and let us try to ensure that as much persons as possible have access to the form. It's for all 10 administrative regions. A very simple form to fill out. You just click, put in the information and submit, and we will receive it. And we take it from there. So on the COVID grant, that's our effort to ensure that every Guyanese receive and not some Guyanese receive something. My third issue this morning is on local government. We have some ongoing issues on local government. You know, we have these NDCs, Neighborhood Democratic Councils, that are responsible for managing the affairs of the community. And we see now that after going through under the coalition following the procedure where the NDC takes responsibility to managing their day-to-day affairs, ensuring things happen, presenting proposals for projects that needs to be done, and all of that, all of a sudden, local governance seems to be an issue under this administration. And I have this book, and I hope the Minister of Local Government actually pick up this book and read it, or is reading it, so it can help him to think and his staff to function effectively and not to create unnecessary problems and struggles for local government. Now, in this book, it says local government organs of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana should embody three principal political characteristics. They should be representative, inclusive, and effective. And the local councils are part of the tripartite system of government: national, regional, and municipal neighborhood. All three levels must collaborate. All three levels must collaborate in order to ensure that citizens, wherever they are, enjoy a high quality of life. And we have responsibilities. As the neighborhood democratic councils, we ought to be representing the people. We ought to have inclusiveness, listening to the people, getting them involved. We ought to be effective serving the people. And what we've been seeing happening when it comes to local government under this administration, it's quite depressing. I know since I've served on my NDC for for the last couple of years, I've served, I was the vice chair for Mocha Arcade NDC until I had to resign from the position as deputy chair, that every year end, you have to plan your budget to project for the year. You have to identify your subvention projects. That are projects that the government will provide the finances so that you can execute the project for your community. Of course, as a council, once you're functioning effectively, it means that you will be engaging your community, you'll be walking your community, you'll be checking to see what's happening so that when the time comes, you'll be having your meetings, public meetings. Persons are invited to your meetings at the NDC so that they can share their views, so that when at the end of the year, you're to put together your subvention projects, it covers the needs of the community. Now, we went through the entire year, and you know this election year is not easy. We knew that the NDC was being given a subvention of $5 million for projects that they would have already proposed for this year. Lo and behold, we have a new minister who is a part of the current regime that decides that from the $5 million subvention project, after the NDC would have sat down, planned, identify what is needed for the community. This is why you have local government. This is why you have local governance. The persons on the ground are the best people to say what their needs are, not the minister and whoever else think what the needs are. The ministers don't live in the communities. These people don't dwell in the communities. They don't have no idea what are the needs of the community. But yet still, under this fraudulent administration, the $5 million that was allotted for the NDCs, an instruction was given that 2.5 million, half of the money, this 5 million, must be spent on crush and run and lights for the community. Now, 1.5 million for the crush and run, and based on what the information I've received, because I'm still very much involved in finding out what's happening to my communities and around how it's functioning, the 1.5 million for crush and run apparently is supposed to be sourced from Tulsi Prasad. And the $1 million for light, maybe there's another special provider that will give light. Now, if you don't have need for crush and run in your community, why are you spending 1.5 million for that? If you have enough lights in your community, why are you spending $1 million on lights? And the minister is telling, as instructed that all the NDCs do that. Is that correct? Is that fair? Is that right? Whose needs are you trying to meet with such a demand? That's a question I would want answered. The NDCs would have already set out their plan. The NDCs would have already laid out what they need to get done for the community for the year. And it is very sad, very, very sad, when you hear all this King Kong kind of approach, dictator kind of approach going on, that the NDCs must spend 2.5 million on lights and crush and run. Suppose now the NDC had already selected a road for the 5 million that will benefit the community. There's no consideration for that. It's amazing how these people operate. Quite amazing, quite distressing to see that the NDCs would have sat down, planned, went through their year-end preparation for the 2020 projects, identify the projects. Bloops, you get a new minister, new fraudulent minister, because I don't know if the minister actually spent time reading, understanding the process, what's involved in local governance. Dictating to the NDCs now that half of the money must be spent to buy crush and run and light. And then it had me thinking, if the community don't have electricity, where put in the lights? Are you telling us to buy solar lights to give the communities? And you will dictate where it comes from? If the community don't have any bad roads, where are you putting the crush and run? in somebody's yard, I don't think any proper thought or consideration was given when this matter or this decision was made. Because I'm quite sure that all the NDCs that are instructed to take half of the money and do whatever is needed to have the crush and run and the light in the community, considerations were not given for all the NDCs. And so this is very sad, and we hope that something can be done to change this practice. It needs to be done. Also, we had the issue at Niles Cozier NDC, where an election was held based on the persons who turned up, which is the coalition representative. A chairman was elected, and all of that was done. The PPP did not turn up, and then they turn up that they want a new and a fresh election. When the overseer was already and is responsible for setting the dates for the elections of the NDC. Now, are we really following the Constitution or not? These are matters that really, really needs to be addressed. On the East Bank, I must commend the police officer for a steady flow of traffic during the week. Even though you had a lot of traffic, you were still moving and you were able to get where you're going instead of being there for hours in the line. So I must commend the officers on the East Bank for the effort and what they continue to do. And I want to encourage persons to try to work out better systems in terms of when you're traveling and all of that and see what's happening on the road so that we can help each other, especially this time when it comes to the traffic buildup. I went to Cyril Johanna this week. I don't know if the photos are available. At Cyril Johanna, I went there to visit, and the issue that is ongoing there, one resident blocked the road. This is it. This is the road, dump a truckload of sand, built a gate, and left the country. Now, the residents nearby are unable, all the pickets and so, even to his fences out on the roadway. This is a very good resident. Now, the residents in that area are unable to access the drains, and you see there's a lot 8 to that little piece of land, the street that the guy took in. The persons there now cannot run their water from Gaiwa. The main drainage canal cannot be cleaned, all because one resident decided to block off the entire area. When the NDC was contacted by the residents, the overseer advised them they could jump the fence and do whatever they have to do. Now, if it is the road, I looked at the map. There's a map also of the area. If it is a road, why is it that one resident must be allowed to block off the entire road? That is something that needs to be addressed, and I hope I've made contact with the authorities, and I hope that when I visit the area that we could see that structure removed, and so that person will be able to access the drain and to do the work. It's amazing how lot 8 is just quarter the size of any other lot in the area and has a fence with padlock and everything. That's how crazy it is with in some communities, that people feel that they can do as they please, that you would enclose the entire roadway and call it your land. So that's an issue that's ongoing, and I hope that it will be addressed. I know the residents at Prospect, the GTNT is working, because I pass and I see some action, some movement to get your phone line service up and running, and I hope that you will be able to have phone service for the holidays. Also, I want to talk about tomorrow in the Mocha Arcadia community. We have a market day. You can come and get all your meat for the pepper pot, get your seasoning, nice fresh seasoning, fruits, vegetables. Just come into the village. We're going to be having a market day from 6 in the morning, 6 a.m. Come into the community, you're able to purchase items. We'll be we'll be at the second bridge at our historical site, the Big Tree. We'll be decorating the area. So if you want to take a special photo in the community, you're able to see and understand the Big Tree Canal. We have some poems out there about the canal and all the history. And so we want to encourage you to come out. You'll have persons there with a little craft. You'll be able to pick up some chicken foot if you haven't had that a long time, some mitai and so forth. So come out, come to our community, Mocha Arcadia, and be a part of our community day, our producers day, market day, and come and enjoy some of what others may not enjoy. I can guarantee you, for the last 5 years, I've been eating everything in my village. You have five finger, guava, whatever's in season at this time you'll get. And you have your plantain, your cassava. Guarantee that when you carry home the cassava, it won't watch you in the pot because it will boil and you will enjoy every piece of it. So I want to encourage you to come out, come to our market in the village for the young people in the community. Well, tomorrow afternoon at 3, we'll be bringing the Buxton Steel Pan live under the big tree, entertain with nice 2 hours of Christmas music from the steel pan. Of course, we'll go live so that persons can be a part of those overseas. You can watch in and see what's happening. I know some persons are here and some couldn't come because of the current pandemic, but we're thankful that we are having the support of all. And so I want to encourage you tomorrow, come to Mocha Arcadia community and be a part of our market day. Drive in the road, come and purchase whatever you need for the holidays. And then when you leave the village, I'm quite sure you will enjoy every bit of what you will pick up. And so this morning, again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank those overseas and those locally for your continuous support. I will continue to highlight issues that affects us both in Guyana and especially on the East Bank because you have to be able to say what's happening. Some people wouldn't have a clue of what's happening. I know also that with the rainy season, the NDCs need to do more work to help the drainage in some of the communities so that the people can have a relief. I know that those who are living in the downstairs of building, oh Lord, we have to pray for them that they will be able to enjoy the holidays and no flood will have them running out and throwing away everything. And so this morning, again, I want to thank all of you. All of you, I want to thank you for joining the program. Even though after it ends, you will still be able to listen to the video. You'll still be able to share. I want to encourage you also to post your concerns. Remember, these are just tips to remember. If you have not received your COVID grant, I know it's frustrating. Just fill out the form that we have there. They're all on my page. Fill out the form, submit it, and we will do our part in helping to continue to represent all of you. And so, in closing this morning, I want to say a happy holidays to everyone. I look forward to Christmas because I love to eat the pepper pot, the bread, the ginger beer, the marby, all of it, the cake, the black cake, and everything. I know that I'll be moving around to see how much I can enjoy. And so, do enjoy your holidays. Whatever you have, just thank God for it, prepare it nicely, and enjoy. I want to thank all the persons who continue to donate to my mid-month relief packages. This month, I was able to have at least 50 packages to share out. And I can tell you, it has really touched the hearts and lives of persons that would have received those little packages. I want to thank those persons who continue to call in and give their words of encouragement and support, even as I continue to represent the people and serve this wonderful country. So do enjoy your holiday. Do enjoy your holiday. Remember to stay safe. COVID is real. Stay safe. Enjoy the time with your family. The beauty about this time is that a lot of people will spend time with the family because they won't be able to go out on their own too much. So you spend the time with the family and cook and enjoy all that you can enjoy as you enjoy this holiday. Anything else? Anybody have anything they want me to highlight? Let me just check. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Christmas Eve day, if you're looking for something to eat, there's a lovely takeaway lunch also by Rockwell's Delight in the Mocha Arcadia community. I think it's $1,200 for a lunch. So if you don't want to cook Christmas Eve day, you can call and get in on a lunch. I'll post the information, a phone number where you can call and get your lunch for Christmas Eve day and help you to relax and help you to prepare for the holidays. Yes, we do. Yes, somebody said we have to remember who we are celebrating Christmas. Yes, we do have to remember that. It's a time for us to share. It's a time for us to enjoy each other. This time is just, regardless of what's going on, Christmas brings such a wonderful feelings that you can share with each other. You can encourage each other. and enjoy all that there is to offer. You can continue to post your comments and let us continue to share and encourage each other. Also, I want to encourage persons, if you're having challenges, call me anytime. My number is on the page. Text me. I will read it. I will get back to you. Whatever help, whatever assistance we can give, we will give. Also remember, yes, also remember you can go to the opposition office that's functional and lodge your report. And that's in that, I must say thank you again for joining me, and do enjoy your Christmas holidays. See you next week.
Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow the man. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a fine time all night.